you are a lover of all things Plushie and Chenille yarn, then today I have got Hobbycraft's newish yarn to try out and review and see if it is any good. Now, I don't know about you, but when a new Chenille yarn comes onto the scene, I need to go and try it out to see if it's any better than anything I've already got. And Hobbycraft have come up with three new yarns. The first new yarn is the Plushie Pals yarn. Now, looking at this and giving it a feel, it's got more of a velvety aspect to it. This very much reminds me of King Cole Yummy along those lines. It is a 100-gram chunky yarn and the recommended hook size are 6mm. Wash on a very mild wash, but do not bleach and do not tumble dry. This yarn is really soft. It's a gorgeous colour. I got this in a lilac colour. It's 100% polyester. Now don't worry, stay tuned because I will be making up samples of these yarns just to see exactly how they work up and if they have any pitfalls like a lot of other Chenille yarns do. Our next yarn, and one of the newest Hobbycraft yarns, is the Plushie Friends yarn. Now, I actually got this in 3 colours because I'm going to be making a pattern from the Plushie Friends yarn in these 3 colours. So if you want to hazard a guess as to what that will be, please do so. And the grand reveal of that pattern will come in at the end of the video. Now, this is classed as a super chunky yarn. And we have on there an 8mm recommended hook. Again, a very mild wash. Do not bleach, do not tumble dry, do not iron. Dry, flat and reshape while damp. Came in a lot of gorgeous colours. I did notice one thing about these is some of them were click and collect only. Luckily for me, the 3 colours that I wanted were home delivery. But just something to bear in mind if you are ordering the new yarns from Hobbycraft. And finally, in the guise of Sadar's Happy Chenille, we have Hobbycraft's Tiny Chenille. Now, these are tiny little balls of chenille yarn in a DK weight. Now, to be fair to them, I think the only other people that I know of, but please feel free to correct me, are Sadar and Stylecraft that do a DK chenille yarn. So to have another brand of chenille that fits the bill in a DK is actually a nice thing to have if it works up any good. Recommended hook sizes for this one are 3mm, hand wash only, do not bleach, iron or tumble dry. And I got this in 3 gorgeous colours, again really nice colourways with this one. I got a lemon, a pink and a turquoisey blue. That's our gorgeous yarn. Fingers crossed when I'm at the end of this video I'm still saying that's our gorgeous yarn. Hobbycraft yarns are a little bit hit and miss, but I'm really hopeful from things that I have seen flying around the internet that these are going to be really good. I've seen more about the Plushie Friends than I have about the Plushie Pals or the Tiny Chenille. I'm going to work that pattern up, I'm going to do samples of all of them, and I'm going to come back and show you and let you know if there are any pitfalls. There are pitfalls with every chenille yarn. Or if they're actually really good and do you need to go out and order yourself a bucket load of these for your plushies. So it has been a couple of days and I am back and I have made 2 new plushies and done a sample for the 3rd yarn. Now I have to say I am pretty shocked at how good 2 of these yarns are. However, one of them was not the best yarn to work with. So let's start with our Plushie Friends yarn, and this is what I made. Now this adorable flower snail, you can see he's got a nice little flower on his back and then a cute little face right here is what I made with this yarn. This is more of a blanket yarn. It's not actually a chenille yarn, it's more of a blanket yarn. That said, it was amazing to work with. I expected this yarn to be a little bit so-so. It was another company jumping on that plushie yarn trend, but I absolutely loved working with this yarn. The magic ring didn't snap when I pulled it tight. There was no shedding. It feels amazing. You can see the details in the parts of the plushie. The stitch work is nice and even. I just loved it. The colours are fab. I thoroughly enjoyed working with this yarn. There was no shedding. The yarn didn't snap easily. I was able to sew everything together really easily. The yarn holds its shape well. It's soft. It's cuddly. And I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. For our second sample, I went on to work with the Plushie Pals yarn. Now for this one, I did not make up a full plushie, but I have done a small sample of the yarn right here. With this yarn, again, is an absolute delight. It's so soft. Working up this little sample, I know it's not a big sample, but it didn't shed once. The last yarn that I used just shed as soon as I made a magic ring with it. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But this yarn is absolutely gorgeous to work with. It's nice and soft. It glides easily off the hook. There is no shedding. I made a magic ring with it and it didn't snap. It's nice to work with. You can see here that the stitches are nice and defined. It feels amazing. The only thing about this yarn for me is that they didn't have the best colour range. Hopefully, if it sells well, then they will develop a few more colours as well. Just a note about Hobbycraft yarns, they don't come with UKCA testing certificates, which is a bit of a shame. So Hobbycraft, if you get wind of this, you know, you're a big company, you could test 2 or 3 of each of your yarns and provide us with some Ecotech certificates and some safety certificates for them as well. And I also think it would open up a market for you, other crocheters. These yarns are actually pretty good. I think you would get a market for them, and in the grand scheme of things, it wouldn't cost you a lot of money, whereas the small business, it would cripple us. So just in case you're watching, that is a little tip from me, Hobbycraft. Absolutely adore this yarn. Can't say anything bad about it really, apart from that the colour range wasn't great, but I will definitely be using it. Let me know in the comments what you think I should design with this sort of lilac-y colour. It's so soft. This is a true chenille yarn. It's really, really soft. It's probably got more of a velvet-esque style, but another winner for me. And finally, the yarn that I will not be buying again. This just wasn't it for me. It's the tiny chenille yarn. Now I have managed to make a sample with this yarn. It took me longer to make this sample than it did to make the flower snail, just saying, because working with the yarn was so finicky. It shed so much. There was just piles and piles of chenille yarn over me when I was working with it. It took me 2 or 3 goes to get a decent magic ring, because every time I tried to pull it tight, the chenille yarn just came off the string. When you're sewing with it, all of the chenille bits just come off the thread. It gets stuck in between the stitches. It just wasn't the nicest yarn to use. Now I can hear you saying, well, what did you make? So let me know in the comments if you think my Macaroon Cat or my Cataroon or my Maca Cat or whatever it's going to be called is adorable, even though I had the hardest time making this little guy. I see what they're trying to do here. Sadara have brought out their own tiny yarn. They're trying to get on the chenille yarn trend. I honestly think the Plushie Friends and the Plushie Pals would have been enough. They're trying to cater for those people that don't want, you know, a larger ball. I think they just might have skimped a little bit on the quality of it. It's just not as good as the other 2 yarns. It's my honest opinion. I really, really struggled with this Macaroon Cat. I actually think it turned out all right. But it was a struggle, and it's still shedding now. Like, I'm picking bits of yarn off it, and that isn't what you want, especially if you're making toys for little ones. So let me know in the comments, which pattern do you want as a video tutorial? Do you want our happy flower snail pattern? Or would you prefer our macaroon cat pattern? One of these will be going up as a video tutorial on YouTube and one will be going up as a free pattern on Instagram. So let me know which you would prefer a video tutorial for, the macaroon cat or our happy flower snail. All in all, the Plushie Pals and the Plushie Friends yarn from Hobbycraft were a delight to work with. I would definitely purchase them again. And if you're a designer and you're not making plushies to sell, or you want to use these yarns for wearables or homewares or things like that, I would urge you to go out and buy them and try them out for yourself. Let me know in the comments if there are any other plushie yarns you would like me to try out or any other new yarns that you would like me to try out as well. And chuck a like on this video if you are a fan of all things yarn in general. New videos go up every Wednesday and Sunday. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.